Welcome back to WD Magicast, the show about the mouse, the marvels, the galaxy, and beyond. I'm your host Matthew Graken, and to my side is the one, the only, the insatiable David Goldman. And this week's episode, let's talk about some big announcements that will be coming to the travel world um in the distant future.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff coming out and it's not going to be local.
No, the closest thing is in Mexico.
Right.
Well, I mean, you got Great Britain too, and then you got
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi. But let's start. Let's go. Great Britain, shall we? I mean, we have Epic Universe opening up this weekend.
Hmm.
So good luck to anyone who's going there this weekend. Let us know how it is.
Hmm.
But speaking of Universal, and this is what we like to call segue. Universal Great Britain has been announced. Their first European-based park, approximate open date in 2031 is the time that they're shooting for.
Yep.
It's approximately, it's near Bedford.
Yes. Yep.
And I think I saw about 476 square acres approximately. It is, like I said, their first park on the European continent or in Europe, because
Hmm.
Great Britain's not on the continent. Um, it will have a hotel, and wisely they're saying some outdoor attractions, a lot of indoor attractions.
Hmm.
Lake center in the center. And the hotel will be one that you will be adjacent to the park, so you can go from your room straight in, instead of having to exit your room and travel to the resort.
Yep. And some of the themes that they were talking about were, well, at least on my research end, was Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Paddington, Lord of the Rings, and potentially James Bond.
James
So,
Bond's an interesting one. That will definitely have to be licensed. Um, Amazon now owns James Bond. The
that's interesting though, because I'm a Lord of the Rings guy, man. But why can't we? Why couldn't we get a Lord of the Rings thing out here? I
yeah,
gotta go to.
that would be awesome. I would
Yeah.
love, like, if they did with Universal Monsters and they could do that as a Lord of the Rings,
Oh,
would be
yeah.
fantastic. Instead of having Frankenstein's tower, you have Sauron's eye, the eye of
Oh,
it
yeah.
staring down
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah. I
Uh,
didn't know Lord of the Rings was an option.
I,
Now that I do, they dropped the ball over here.
we
uh,
get dragons, they get the rings. Possibly,
exactly.
possibly. Um,
Right.
so yeah, so that's one of number of things that they're talking about. I even heard rumors Doctor Who, which I would think would be strange since they're got the partnership with Disney at the moment.
Mm.
But it is a UK based IP. Anything's possible, and if that was the case, you'll find me over there really quickly. Um, yeah, so that should be quite. I mean, I think it's very interesting how ambitious Universal is being with their expansions. So we just have Epic Universe opening up this year. You have the Kiddie Park in Texas under construction and opening, soon.
Right.
And then you also have the experience, the Horror Nights experience in Las Vegas opening, I think, next year, end of this year.
Well, how many parks around the world do they have? Is it just here, or do they have other ones? Do you know?
Um, they have Beijing. They have one in California. California being the original one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The one in Florida. They one in China and the one in Japan.
In Japan. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
they have a few.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking is they're just trying to keep up with what Disney's doing. You know.
Well, and obviously yes. I just find, like I said, ambitious that you have this many projects going at once.
Hmm.
Where Disney's opened up parks, but you've opened up these parks over extended period of time.
Right.
Um, where I mean, you had what Shanghai opened up almost 10 years ago now. Close to 10. That park's been open a little longer than people expect. I mean, even Japan opened up in the 80s.
Mm.
Disneyland Paris opened up early 90s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not, you know, there's been a space of time between them.
There's time. Yeah. Yeah.
Where this seems to be, oh, here's another park. Oh, and here's another park. Oh, and here's something else, which is great. I just curious where the financials on that is really
Mm.
working out.
I wonder how that all like behind the scenes stuff works. I'm sure Disney has their hands in all of it, but are you know certain locations like buy-in for Disney to come to them. You know what I'm saying? Like Germany, hey, we want a Disney in Germany. They are they trying to outbid Abu Dhabi for what I mean? Like
Well, speaking of Abu Dhabi, um,
that's what we call a segue, Matthew.
yes, yes, it is. Um, yeah, it is. So Disney announced just recently that they will be opening their seventh park in Abu Dhabi. It will be Disneyland Abu Dhabi.
Mhm.
Um, so here's the interesting thing, and this goes along with what you're saying, is that people vying for the right to use Disney. Sometimes it is Disney going saying, okay, we're building a park, we're looking at these locations, and then the locations, the countries go, okay, we'll give you this type of tax credit. This is the type of area that you can get, blah, 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 blah. And then all the
Mhm.
politics get involved.
Right.
The case of Abu Dhabi, and it's the same scenario as Tokyo, is it's Disney by name.
Okay.
It is built Disney somewhat operates it, but they're not the owners of it.
So it's Disney because I've
It's
never
like a
been to the
franchise.
Tokyo. Right. So I've never been to Tokyo was one, obviously. So or France or whatever. So it's a Disney property, but so for the Tokyo example, they'll have a Tokyo twist to it.
Um, Tokyo is very much a copy of Disney World.
Okay.
They went to Disney World, they go, I want one of these. And it there is some differences, like they put a roof over Main Street because it rains in Japan.
Mm,
In certain things are designed in a certain way because the feng shui masters come in and okay, this has to be facing this way, this has to be done this way. Um, so in like a Japanese car, it's just built to perfection.
mm,
Um, but it's not a carbon copy, but it is it's the same Cinderella Castle in Florida as it is in Tokyo with slight variations.
yeah.
Versus Cinderella Castle that's in Paris, which is completely different than any other ones. Paris is owned by Disney World Corporate or Disney Corporate, where again Tokyo is run by the I forget the Tokyo Land Company, um, and it's built on reclaimed land. So that's separate.
Right.
The Imagineers come up with the attractions and everything, and they send the blueprints over, and in Tokyo builds it, which is basically what's happening in Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi is going to be run by the Mural Company, who owns several other family entertainment venues, let's say, that are on this Yaz Island that is in Abu Dhabi. Um, it is it is a big vacation destination for Europe and Asia. Being that's in the Middle East, so it's kind of in between the two.
Mhm.
But it's projected early 2030s. They don't have an exact year yet. It's far enough in the process that they're feel safe to announce it.
Mhm.
But it's still early enough in the process that they don't know exactly what's going in it. If you look at the concept pictures, it is a um, it's got a large um, sphere type of castle to it. It is not a Cinderella castle as all the other ones have been.
Now,
So it is different.
I don't know if you know the answer to this. Can they cherry pick which rides can go in there?
Yes.
So they could be like, I like, I like what's in this out of Hollywood. I want to take this out of Magic Kingdom. I want to take this out of Animal Kingdom, and just piece it all into one and call it Disneyland, their version.
Well, they've kind of announced some general ideas. It's going to be using a lot more technology um than the other parks. So a lot of interactive type of situations,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be a lot different than what the other parks have done. Um, but yeah, so they can get uh a general scope of what they would like on there, but it's kind of back and forth. We have here what the concept art is. So if you look, that's the castle,
Wow. Okay.
but it's not a castle we've seen yet, but it's a castle we should be seeing.
Mm-hmm.
From what I heard, Jim Hill mentioned that this is going to be the castle from Frozen 3, where Elsa ends up.
Okay.
Um, in the not too distant future. Because she's no longer living in Arendelle. She needs her own place to live because she's a protector of the Enchanted Forest, and that will be her castle. So it's a very forward thinking. This is a very typical um, initial concept art release from Disney where it's a lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look, here's the big shiny thing, and look, there's a bunch of other random things about.
Yeah.
So
That
you
you can't
can't
make
really,
out for anything.
yeah, you can't look too much into this.
Yeah.
But it is, yeah, it will be pretty neat. Um, it price wise,
Yeah.
uh, don't expect either of us there anytime soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. But on a side note, real quick gripe. You just mentioned Frozen 3. I just saw the teaser trailer for Zootopia 2, and we can't get a Big Hero 6, sequel. Come on.
They're
I wanted.
working on it, Dave. They're
How long
working
does
on
it take to come up with a sequel? That movie came out when? Eons ago.
it. But you had the animated series.
I want a movie. I
You
want a
had the
good
Baymax
movie.
shorts.
I want a movie
They
that
built
continues for.
the section of Disney California Adventure.
Well, I'm not going there. I want a movie.
Next time you're
Baymax is.
out with Don, take the 3 hour drive to Los Angeles,
Right.
and there you go.
Uh, Baymax, one of the coolest new characters that they had back in it, and they still, I can't get a sequel, but I can get a Zootopia 2, and a Frozen 3, and a Moana 2, and an Incredibles 2.
Moana 2 was supposed to be a series, so
Yes, I know. Yeah.
that's a whole other ball of wax.
Right.
Uh, yeah. Well, yeah. You want to make sure that they have a good idea.
Right.
Um, but from my understanding, yes, they are working on it.
On a Big
It,
Hero 6-2 or whatever.
it is something that's in the in the wheelhouse.
2014 it came out.
Yes.
We're talking 11 years. 11 years of counting. Really?
Well, I mean, in fairness, it's only 2 years older than in Zootopia. So,
And I knew you were gonna say, "Whoa, we got like 30 years between Return of the Jedi and the Phantom Menace."
yeah, I have to tell I have something to say to you, and you know, he who shall not be named
Named.
about some of the stuff that you've been sending about the hate for the sequels. Um,
Hey, that last one I sent you about Ray was on point, but go ahead.
Look how long it's taken for us to get Tron sequels. There we go. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, all right.
Um, and in our last little segment here, in the last 10 minutes, we have the Perfect Day at Cozumel.
Mm-hmm.
Will be the most that's coming in September 2027, a mere, minutes away versus the other.
Yeah, distant future. Uh,
So,
this is
uh,
this is the one I'm excited about because if it's anything like Perfect Day at Coco Cay, I mean,
but it's not.
no, I
Personally,
know,
I
but
think it's actually going to be better.
it's going to be better. Yeah, because that lazy river that's in there that takes an hour to get around, and I did some research too, and
The
it
world's largest
largest
lazy
lazy
river.
river,
The world's
right?
largest.
And I did
With Dave, what beneficial feature does it have that you are looking forward to the most?
the information that I confirmed what you told me. 3 swim up bars on the way around that bad boy.
Three.
Not one, not two,
With
3.
your beverage package in hand.
Exactly.
Not only, not only are they giving you 3 swim up bars, Dave.
Right.
What's going to be the nice feature of the tubes or the rafts that you are floating
Oh,
around
they
on
got
this
to have a
new?
cup holder in them.
They have cup
They gotta
holders.
gotta
They
have a
have
cup
cup
holder.
holders.
Uh,
They
I'll be
will be. I'm not going to say it
I'll be
because this is a
late.
family show. But
I'll be late to I'll be doing the run. You'll be filming me running back to the ship because I'll be just I'm going around one more time. You don't have time. I got all the time in the world.
all I have to say, Dave, they better use a lot of chlorine in that
Oh my
water
god. Yeah, tell
and
me about it.
filter it really good.
Oh, yeah. But now this it looks, spectacular from the videos I've seen and whatnot. Royal Caribbean's doing it again. So,
Was it the tallest water slide on the North
mhm.
American continent
Yep.
or
And what was it, like
relative continent?
30 water slides, including the tallest water slide tower and water slides across North and South America. Yep.
Yeah.
So multiple pools, thrill rides, the relaxation and chill zones, and a Royal Beach Club. And they'll have all I think, what do you call the cabanas or whatever you can rent
Yeah,
out
of
and stuff.
course, all that for the nominal fee.
Right.
Um, so my understanding, and I could be mistaken on this, is that the Royal Caribbean will have a priority towards it
Mm-hmm.
and free access for Royal Caribbean cruisers. If you're on one of those other brands like Carnival or NCL or one of those Princess that pulls up into that port and you get off, I believe, but I could be mistaken. This was in the initial talks of it, and the good, details can change, but um, they would be able to do that as an excursion, but not
Oh,
have
go to
full
Perfect
access to it.
Day as okay. So whereas we on Royal Caribbean, you can just go straight to it. You don't have to pay that extra fee unless
Right,
you want to go into water parks. That's that extra fee.
right. That's the extra fee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the uh, um, we're live.
You never know what
Uh,
happens in a podcast. Matt's got ghosts.
um, yes, Annabelle. Later. Um, but yeah, so they would be able, but they don't have access everywhere. So like the one that specifically says Royal Bay or whatever it was, that I believe would be probably or example of an exclusive
Right.
area.
Now, is this a different port than the one that's going to Cozumel? Because like I'm going to Cozumel in August. So is that a different port, or am I going to be able to see the building of Perfect Day when I go out there?
My understanding is the same port.
Okay. So I might be able to see some action going on. I'm not going to
Yeah.
be able to go there, but I might be able to snap some pictures and
So
see
they
what's going
came
on.
into an agreement with the Mexican government that this they took over the port.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Now, would they? I don't know if you know the answer to this. Is would they do a cruise that would go to both Coco Cay and Perfect Day at Mexico,
It would have
or
to
are they
be
just going to do those Western? The Western Caribbeans would be where the Mexico one goes on, and so on.
it would probably have to be a really long cruise.
Mm.
Because they're not really that near each other. So is it theoretically possible? Yes. So if you take a say a cruise out of Miami, or Port Canaveral, you could hit, Bahamas and then go all the way up, be several days.
Well, we're leaving
Um,
out of Miami, and we're going to both. We're going to both Cozumel and Coco Cay. So Coco Cay is the last stop, and then it comes back.
yeah.
So
So okay, and within a week. So yeah, it's doable. Would they? I mean, well, think on the when we were on the symphony that we could have.
the 9 day,
We were
yeah,
supposed to go to
yeah, Porta
Labadee
Plata,
and
yeah,
yeah, well,
Labadee,
Labadee
Porta
initially,
Plata, yeah, and then
and and and
it.
um in Perfect Day,
Mhm.
Bahamas. So it is something that they could do. This is actually the first of a few of these that they're looking to do. They're looking to do one on the West Coast as well. And I think there's a few other places that they were looking at. So they're expanding the Perfect Day brand,
Mhm.
um, or their private island areas.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so that this looks very interesting, and like I said, is the closest it is to just under 2.5 years away.
Yeah, 2027.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's on my radar. You know, I'm if we ever go on one, hopefully it goes there. But again, you got to look for that itinerary. And unfortunately, it's more than likely out of Bayonne, where we live at New Jersey. It's not going to go down there more than likely. So unless it's like you said, it's like a 9 day or 12 day cruise or something
Even a
like that.
nine
But
day, I mean, it would be to
yeah,
swing all the way down past Florida, all the way over to Mexico,
hmm,
and hike it back.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's not doable, but it is,
hmm.
uh, yeah, it is a stretch.
I dig it though, because like if some people are skeptical to get off the ship in certain territories that they don't know, but they know that that's their private island and they feel safe going there or whatever. I'm not saying any place is safe, but I'm just saying some people might think different things about certain areas. The Coco Cay or Perfect Day in Mexico, that you can get off the ship and enjoy the splendor of what it has to offer because I love it. I know
Oh
you're
yeah,
not a beach guy and a pool
yeah.
guy or whatever like that, but me, forget it.
But
I'm in that pool.
to be honest, it's a really nice offering.
Hmm.
And if you, I no, actually, I do have the videos posted.
Hmm.
I went live there whenever we were there last August. So if you're watching, then great. If not, then you go to our YouTube channel, depending where you're watching this, and check out the video feeds of me trying to walk around with the internet constantly cutting out. And then you also have Dave and I walking around on the
On the
Symphony of the
symphony.
Seas,
Hmm.
in Port Canaveral.
Hmm.
So with a beautiful sunset around us.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so it is really nice. I again, like you said, you called me out. I'm not a beach person. Not even really much of a pool person,
Yeah.
but what they have is really cool.
Yeah.
It has a swim up bar. and it's big enough that you can fit a lot of bodies
Oh yeah,
in that
yeah. You don't,
water.
man. You don't feel jammed up. I never felt like overcrowded or anything like that.
No, the people soup is amazing there. There's the private cabanas and stuff that you could rent. There's the water park as well, which is an additional cost.
Yeah.
Um,
All you thrill seekers that like that stuff, they got it for you.
yeah, yeah, it's a nominal number too. It's not necessarily cheap.
Don't give it away. I didn't see a
So,
zip line though, so that would be the only difference from Coco Cay to Mexico, unless it's in there and I didn't see it. But I, from the video I saw, they didn't show it in there. Not that that's a, you know, a bummer or nothing, but
yeah, no, at least not yet. Not that they're,
mm,
they could be working that out because they even had one in Labadee.
mm,
Um, so that might be something they're trying to work out.
yeah. All right. Well, I see. I finally see the timer. We have 7 minutes. Have you ventured into Andor yet?
I have watched all of 3 minutes of Andor, and I like what I've seen
In 3 minutes?
in 3 minutes. It was, it puts you right into the middle of the action of him trying to fly a TIE fighter.
That's true.
Um,
Uh,
and I am 2 weeks behind on Doctor Who.
yeah, Doctor Who. I haven't even jumped into yet. Andor. I'm in the middle of episode 8,
Okay.
so I'm almost through it.
And this is what I said my problem with Andor is. I am technically only 3 weeks behind on Andor.
Right.
But
Yeah.
in Andor math, I am 9 episodes behind. In 3 weeks, I am 9 episodes behind. Doctor Who, I'm 2 weeks behind, but only
Uh,
2 episodes behind. I'm liking
yeah.
the Doctor Who math better than I'm liking
Yeah.
the Andor
Yeah.
math.
That 12 episode 4 week drop of like an hour an episode is rough.
Yeah,
So
that it's a lot to take in.
yeah.
When if you have limited time.
But from I'm not gonna give any spoilers or whatever, but from what I've seen so far, dude, it's well written. It visually looks awesome. I love it. I'm glad that, and we said it. Andor has to be a win, and I think it is. My opinion.
Good.
I think it's a W for Star Wars, and it's about time.
Our friend of the show, Dan Zaire, said it was actually better than season one. So,
I would agree with him so far from what I've seen. Obviously, I still have to see the finish, but I agree. I was actually thinking that too. As it's going on, I'm like, wow, because I don't know, you're getting more familiar with the characters, and it's just more interesting what's going on now because they're setting it up to get ready for Rogue One and everything. So it's
yeah.
just
And,
phenomenal.
and what they said from the beginning, this is going to drop you right into Rogue One.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, it's worth it. But to watch it at your own leisure pace, that's
And I will be watching it at a leisurely pace.
At 3 minutes a clip.
Oh, but like I said, Doctor Who, I guess I'm missing the last 2 episodes, but so far it's been a really enjoyable season. And I'm liking it because it's brought the fun back, and it's not every episode that I feel like the weight of the world is on his
Mm-hmm.
shoulders and everything, and the twists and the tie-ins and the little like threads between each episode have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to finishing that season up and starting Andor. Yeah, I haven't even watched the Underworld yet, so I've been really slacking on my viewing, other than what I watched on May 4th. So I
Yeah.
made sure to blast in Star Wars on May 4th weekend. I did
Mm-hmm.
Saturday and Sunday, where I watched the um, Phantom Menace,
Mm-hmm.
Spaceballs,
Love it.
Attack of the Clones,
Uh-huh.
Revenge of the Sith. Then I did Solo,
Mm-hmm.
and then Rogue One, and then New Hope, Empire, and Jedi.
You watched all of that.
Yeah,
Okay. That's too
three
much for
days.
me, buddy. That's too much for me, buddy.
All that in 3 days, and I can't watch a single episode of
Of
Andor.
Andor. Yeah.
In my defense, those movies I've seen multiple times over.
Mm,
that I just can put them on in the background and still be
yeah,
doing other stuff and not
yeah,
have to focus and pay attention to the details of everything. Where with Andor, since I've never seen it,
yeah.
I want to sit there and watch and take in the details of everything, and that's not as
And
easy to do.
and the thing too is with Andor, it's very dialogue driven, so you need to be awake. You have to kind of be paying attention to to it because they'll say something, you'll miss it, and you wait, you rewind. What happened? What did I miss?
Yeah.
So you have to, yeah, can't be watching it at 11 o'clock at night when you're getting ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. Nope. Nope. So, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and everybody else, please let us know what you think of what's coming to the travel worlds, and or Doctor Who. Put in the comments below. Make sure to like and share this video. Leave the comments. Also check out our social medias where we're pretty much everywhere at WD Magicast. Dave,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much for coming along.
You're welcome.
Anything else you need to add?
Uh, no, I think we're good.
All right, and that on that bombshell, we will see you next time.
Later, people.